Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're pulling out the bow for the first time. Not the first time, I shot it a few times, but pulling it out for the hunting season. It's coming up. It always comes up so quick. It's only June 30th right now, I think. 29th, something like that. But it's basically the beginning of July, and so we got like 3 months until season. So want to get out and start shooting, see if this thing's dialed, and stuff like that. I've shot it a few times, so it's pretty close. At least we might have to adjust it a little bit, I'm not sure, but we're gonna shoot it around, see what we think. Might give you guys what I think of the bow. I have the Bear Archery Hunting Public Adapt. Funny story, right after I bought this bow a little over a year ago, Bear Archery and the Hunting Public came out with the Adapt Plus, literally like a month at the most, maybe like a few weeks after I bought the regular Adapt. But it is what it is. It's basically the same bow. But yeah, that's what I'm shooting. That's what I have. I am in college, and so budget bows are my best friend. So yeah, but it shoots great. I shot a doe and a coyote last year with this bow, and it was pretty awesome. So, but yeah, it was pretty fun. Shoots pretty good. Let's dial this thing in and let's see how it shoots. All right, first yardage. So humid out here, my rangefinder's fogged over. First yardage, 10 yards. Obviously, if you can't hit something at 10 yards, you probably shouldn't go hunting. But basically just a warm-up. I was a little low, not gonna lie. On the money. Last one. I only have 3 arrows left because I broke some of them hunting and I broke some of them target shooting, so gotta get restocked, but for today we only have 3. On the money. Alright, so not bad. The first one was a little low, but that one was pretty good. So, not crazy. Obviously this is like my first time getting it out this year, but I'm trying to figure out where it's shooting. When I was shooting it, I shot it like 10 times like a week ago or so, and it seemed to be pulling a little right, and I don't know if that was my hand torque or if that was the actual bow that wasn't shooting straight. But we're gonna move it out to 20. Once you get further distances, you can start seeing where your arrows are consistently not going where you want them to. So move it out at 10 yards, shoot it at 20. All right, 20 yards. Here we go. That one was a little low. All right. They're all going a little right. I think I might have to adjust my sight. That one was low too, like way low. We're a little long. It's at 22 yards instead of 20. But still, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna reshoot that. It's kind of shaky on the shots. I really want to actually see if this thing's on or not. So we're gonna reshoot that, see if we can shoot a little bit more consistently. It's shooting right. Low and right's pretty consistent. So we got to go down and right with the sight. Most of you guys watching probably have already shot a bow in the past, but if you haven't, basically if you have a fixed sight like me, this is just, I think it's like a Trophy Ridge Volt. I think it's 5-pin. But basically, if you're missing low, you move your pin down. If you're missing right, you move your entire sight right, or your pin, whatever, depending on what you're adjusting. But basically, you move it in the direction that you're missing. So, anyway, here's what we got. Low, 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 and a little right. These are low, low, and both. This one's pretty close, but this one is a little right, and this one's also right. One thing to keep in mind, we do have a pretty good side wind right now, which could be pushing them a little right. It's not crazy, but it is a little bit of wind. Right at 30. Definitely right. All right, there we go. Let me get a little closer so you guys can see. This one is pretty close, but it's right. This one's pretty close, but it's right. And this one is also right. So we're all shooting right at almost every yardage. So I wonder if it got bumped in my case or something. But I'm gonna have to adjust that. And yeah, it's close, it's like an inch off. But all right, I'm gonna shoot 40. And then I'm not sure if I have my last pin at 45 or 50, but we're gonna find that out too. Basically, as you guys saw earlier, this sight on my bow is a 5-pin. Has 5 fixed pins in there. I can't adjust it. There's no sight tape. It's all just fixed. I mean, I can adjust it, but with an Allen wrench. So I have each pin at 10, and then between that, you just gotta hold. So it doesn't drop that much, but you just gotta. If it's 45 and you got a 40 and a 50 pin, you gotta hold it between the two, right? So. I was jumping all over the place on that shot. Alright, well, I guess good and bad news. The further out I get, the further right it shoots. Almost shot through this target. But I was aiming all three towards this one, and they're all right. So yeah. Alright, we gotta adjust it. I'll move this out to 50, I think. We're gonna see where it's hitting at 50. I think my pin might be 45. I think that's what I set it in for, but we'll see. We're gonna shoot 50 and see what happens. Alright, not bad. Let me pull this arrow back real quick. There you can see. I mean, that's a 3-inch group at 50 yards. It's not terrible. Again, getting into practice again. Yeah, so not awful. Again, it's right. So I gotta adjust my whole sight, but I will do that, and it should just be one adjustment and everything should be pretty dang close. Might have to adjust a few of the pins by themselves, but other than that, it should be pretty close. That was more consistent than I thought. One of them I pulled a little high, but they were pretty close. Again, at 50 yards, they were right. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Wasn't anything too crazy, but trying to get the bow figured out again for season coming up. Trying to get stuff dialed in, get ready. I'm pretty excited. It's gonna be pretty great. Yeah, this is the Bear Archery Adapt. Actually I forgot to say this. The arrows I shoot the, I don't know if you guys can see that, the Axis 5mm, and these are 300 spine with 125 grain tips. So, shoot pretty heavy arrows, but I like it. They seem to fly pretty consistently if I can shoot consistently. But as practice goes on, obviously get better as closer to get a season and stuff like that. But yeah, it was pretty fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned because I'm gonna do a bow review on that and just explain what I like. Also, shout out to Burkholder Archery in Napanee. They hooked me up. I was having some problems right when I started, and I'll go over this in when I review the bow, but was having some issues and they really did help me out. So shout out to Burkholder Archery in Napanee. But yeah, so we are gonna wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next video. See you guys soon.